Have you ever been in the middle of saying something important only to be cut off halfway through? It's frustrating, isn't it? Constant interruptions not only throw off your flow, but they can also make you feel unheard and disrespected. But what if you didn't have to just tolerate this behavior? What if you could take control of the conversation, stay calm, and make sure your voice is heard without getting frustrated or backing down? Sounds impossible? Well, it's not. In this video, I'll show you how to handle people who constantly interrupt you and how to regain the power in your conversations. Ready to stop being cut off and start speaking with confidence? It's a situation we've all been in, trying to express ourselves, only to be constantly interrupted by someone else. Whether it's during a meeting, a casual conversation, or even a serious discussion, interruptions can throw you off balance and make you feel disregarded. But beyond the immediate frustration, constant interruptions can have a lasting impact on your emotional well-being and confidence. When someone interrupts us, it's not just a minor inconvenience. It can feel like an assault on our ability to communicate. Over time, being interrupted frequently can lower your self-esteem, make you second-guess your words, and even leave you feeling anxious about speaking up in the future. In professional settings, it can undermine your credibility and authority, while in personal relationships, it can cause frustration and create a sense of imbalance. The emotional toll of being constantly interrupted isn't something to underestimate. You might begin to question your own voice and your right to be heard. This erosion of self-confidence can become a cycle where you avoid speaking up altogether, further reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. But it doesn't have to be this way. Understanding the deeper impact of interruptions can be the first step in regaining control over your conversations. It's about taking back your voice and restoring your sense of respect, both in your own eyes and in the eyes of those you're speaking to. You deserve to be heard, and by learning how to respond to interruptions with confidence, you can ensure that your voice is never silenced again. Before we dive into how to handle interruptions, it's important to understand why people interrupt in the first place. Most of the time, it's not a personal attack on you. In fact, it's often rooted in their own behaviors and psychological patterns. Some people interrupt because they feel the need to be heard. They might think their thoughts are more important or that their opinions are superior. These individuals may not be aware of how often they interrupt, or they might feel a subconscious need to assert dominance in a conversation. People who interrupt may feel a deep-seated need to make their voices louder in order to establish their place in the conversation. They believe that if they don't speak up quickly, they might lose their chance to be heard. For others, interruptions are a sign of excitement. They might be so eager to share their thoughts or ideas that they unintentionally jump in before you're finished. While this might seem less disrespectful, it still disrupts the flow of the conversation and can leave you feeling invalidated. In some cases, interruptions can even be a form of power play. Some individuals interrupt because they feel a need to control the conversation or steer it in a direction that serves their interests. They might be looking to dominate the discussion or simply feel uncomfortable with silence. This behavior often goes unnoticed by the interrupter, as they may not realize the negative impact they're having on the conversation. But how do you deal with this when you're on the receiving end? First, it's helpful to understand that interruptions often have less to do with you and more to do with the other person's emotional state or communication habits. That doesn't mean you should accept it, but it can give you a sense of control to know that their behavior is more about them than it is about you. Now that you understand why interruptions happen, let's explore some strategies for how you can deal with them effectively without losing your cool or feeling unheard. The first step in dealing with interruptions is to stay calm. It's natural to feel irritated when someone cuts you off, but reacting impulsively can escalate the situation. Take a deep breath, pause for a moment, and resist the urge to raise your voice or interrupt back. When you stay composed, you send a message that you are in control of the conversation, no matter what. By keeping your cool, you maintain the upper hand in the interaction. Another crucial element of handling interruptions is body language. Body language can be a silent yet powerful way to assert yourself. When someone interrupts you, maintain eye contact and use a firm yet relaxed posture to signal that you're not finished speaking. This creates an unspoken rule that you won't tolerate being cut off. Even if the interrupter tries to continue talking, hold your ground and finish your sentence. In many cases, the person will realize that you're not going to back down. If the interruptions continue, it may be necessary to set clear clear boundaries. You can do this politely but firmly by saying something like, "I'd appreciate it if you could let me finish my thought," or "I'll let you speak as soon as I'm done." By addressing the behavior directly, you make it clear that interruptions are not acceptable without being rude or defensive. In situations where interruptions are a recurring issue, like in team meetings or family discussions, it's essential to set some ground rules from the beginning. You can say, "Let's make sure everyone has a chance to speak without interruptions," or "Let's take turns talking." Establishing these boundaries up front can help maintain a smooth flow of conversation and prevent people from cutting each other off. It's not about being rigid or inflexible, but about creating an environment where everyone's voice can be heard and respected. Sometimes, interruptions happen because people are overly eager to contribute to the discussion. If the person cutting you off seems excited, you can use humor to ease the tension. A lighthearted comment like, "Hold on, I promise I'm almost done," can shift the mood and make the situation feel less confrontational. But use this strategy cautiously, only when it feels appropriate and when the interrupter's behavior isn't malicious. Setting boundaries is key to maintaining healthy communication and ensuring that you're treated with respect in any conversation. Here's how you can establish boundaries and regain control when dealing with people who constantly interrupt you. Don't shy away from being direct about the need for space to speak. Let people know that you value their input, but you need to be able to finish your thoughts without interruption. A simple, "I understand you have something to say, but I'd like to finish what I'm saying first," can work wonders. It doesn't have to be confrontational or rude. It's simply about making sure that your voice is given equal weight. If you're in a situation where interruptions are common, such as a group meeting or a family discussion, set a pause policy. Let everyone know that when one person is speaking, others should wait until they're finished before responding. This can help create a more organized and respectful conversation where everyone feels like they're being heard. Another powerful strategy is to address the issue privately. If the interruptions are coming from a specific person, it can be helpful to have a one-on-one conversation with them outside of the group setting. Calmly explain that you've noticed a pattern of interruptions and that it's affecting your ability to speak freely. You might say, "I've noticed that I often get interrupted when I'm talking, and it's hard for me to express my thoughts fully. Can we work together to make sure everyone has a chance to speak?" This approach is respectful and non-confrontational, and it gives the other person an opportunity to reflect on their behavior. Finally, remember that boundaries are only effective if you stick to them. If you let someone interrupt you without addressing it, they'll likely continue the behavior. Be consistent in your response and reinforce your boundaries each time an interruption occurs. Over time, this will help establish a new dynamic in your conversations where you are treated with the respect you deserve. Dealing with people who constantly interrupt can be frustrating, but with the right strategies, you can regain control of the conversation and ensure that your voice is heard. By staying calm, setting clear boundaries, and addressing interruptions politely but firmly, you can create more respectful and effective communication. Remember, it's not about changing the other person, but about how you respond and set the tone for the interaction. With practice, you'll be able to handle interruptions with confidence and ease, ensuring that your ideas are valued and your words are never lost again.